I sometimes think if I look at my resume now, or if I hear someone introduce me and give my bio, it's almost like it's another person. I almost feel like she sounds amazing. I would like to meet that woman. Because the actual living of it was very different than just this straight path from point A to B to C to D. And it was punctuated by periods where I really didn't know what I wanted to do next. And I did lots of soul searching and even kind of felt paralyzed at times, not knowing, should I do this or should I do that, and where it would lead. And so it's like looking at someone's Facebook page or their Instagram page. That's what a resume is. But there's a lot of twists and turns along the way. So when I was deciding after law school whether to move to New York, or I had an offer in California, that almost killed me making that decision because it seemed like such different lives. And so I wanted a crystal ball to tell me, like, well, what friends will I make here and what friends will I make there? Is my soulmate in California? Will I miss meeting him and you don't know these things. I will tell you all this. This is something I don't talk about that much because it's not really relevant, but with a group full of women, I want you all to know this. So when I was working in Brooklyn, and ended up going to the Netherlands, which ended up being an amazing experience for me. The reason I went there didn't work out at all. So I went there because I had gotten engaged to someone who got a job there. So I moved there too. I left my job in Brooklyn and I went to the Netherlands without a job. And for the first little while, I felt totally lost because I had been this federal prosecutor in Brooklyn. I had emails and phone calls coming at me all the time. And then I was just this person like walking around, sitting in coffee shops, applying for jobs. And it got a lot better once I got the job in the War Crimes Tribunal, but that was by no means certain. I had a lot of soul searching there. And then the engagement didn't work out. I realized, I don't think it's going to work to marry this person. And so we broke up and he moved back to the United States and I stayed there for a couple of more years. But it wasn't my plan to go there in the first place. It was something that didn't work for the reasons I did it. And then when I got there, I loved it and I was so happy I had that opportunity, even though it didn't work for the reasons I'd planned, and became one of the best experiences in my life. And I stayed there for 2 years by myself and traveled all over and had this amazing experience. So when my trial ended, I decided, well, I'll move back to Utah because all of my family is here. And I was single at the time. And by the way, I was 39. So I don't know, those of you I was in a panic. Let's just say that. I think everyone in this room, I thought, oh my gosh, if you would have told me at 20 that I will be 39 and single, I couldn't have gone on. Like, I was in a panic at 39. Because I'd broken off this engagement. I didn't have any other, prospects in the hopper. And so I was thinking, when am I going to have kids? I want to have a family. I want to have kids. So I was having the total biological panic. I thought, I'm going to move back to Utah and everyone will think I'm a total weirdo because I'm 39 and single. They're going to think, what is up with this woman? What is her story? But I came back, and again, I was thinking, what do I want to do now? I'm 39, I've been a prosecutor. Do I want to keep doing that? Do I want to try something else? So I had this, again, kind of soul searching about what is my path. And one thing I figured out is I think in every career there are these things that are prestigious or the thing to do that is validated. And that would just trip me up. And what I thought is I have to make the most Paige decision I can. The thing that is most me, that is me making the best decision for me. So what am I interested in? What do I want to be good at? One of my friends said, if you find a job and you really want to be good at that job, hallelujah, like hold on to that, because that's huge. There's so many things out there that you do it and you're like, I don't care about this and I don't want to be doing it. If you have something and you really want to be good at it, that's a great sign. What do I want to be good at? What are my skills? What talents do I have to bring? And I ended up getting a job in the U.S. Attorney's Office here. I applied for a couple other things that didn't quite work out. So again, I'm having a little bit of a panic because at this point I'm like a 40-year-old who's looking for a job. And I'm kind of thinking, I'm like making a mess of my life. I'm not doing these things that I need to be doing. And I got a job at the U.S. Attorney's Office and met the most amazing group of people here in Utah who are still all my close friends. And now to hear it told, it sounds like it was just this smooth sailing path where I just knew where I was going and I just marched up that path. But that was not true along the way. So I sometimes want to give that caveat to people and say, like, I would never want anyone to hear, oh, look at all the, you hear the accomplishments of other people and you think, oh, I'm not measuring up. So many times along that path, I felt like I'm not measuring up. I'm embarrassed to go to my law school reunion because I don't have a job right now. What am I going to tell people I'm doing? So we all feel that way, and it's just, you've got to make the most you decisions you can make, and you've just got to really think about, well, what is the right decision for me? And that is how you chart your path. Okay.